What is up, everyone? Talon here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I am so excited to sit down and do a video with you guys. It's been so long since I've made a video. I feel right back at home, and excuse my absence, been completely busy just through the roof with live production work, and it's good to finally get a break in order to do some video with you guys. So, today's topic is something that people either love or absolutely hate when it comes to, within the tactical realm, this type of flashlight. As far as like an EDC standpoint, people seem to really enjoy this brand of flashlight, and that is the Olights. When it comes to firearm guys, they typically go with what they prefer, and that's either Streamlight or Surefire. There's really not a whole lot of deviation from either of those two brands. You get a couple of people that will go with maybe some cheaper option, or maybe spend the money on something like an Olight, which has been my preference. Now, I have airsoft and real firearms, and so I've utilized Olight as well as several of my nicer Streamlight lights on some of my firearms from time to time whenever we're doing kind of a cool shoot. But from the perspective of airsoft exclusively, that's where I'm going to be approaching this topic and having this conversation with you guys. So Olight as a brand manufactures not only tactical flashlight that are pistol or rifle specific, but they also have a whole bunch of EDC, whether it be the handheld or the headlamp or some type of other attachment. They make a helmet attachment where like your night vision would typically sit. They do make an option for mounting onto there, which is pretty cool. So Olight has a ton of flashlights available. In fact, they just announced the O sight. And so that is going to be a rechargeable sight. Now, I saw this both in advertising as well as seeing it on Demo Ranch's video with the AK-50. So pretty cool that it can handle up to 50 caliber. And a bunch of their lights, as inexpensive as they are, relative to other kind of name brand flashlights, hold up really, really well when it comes to utilizing them on real firearms. As airsoft, we typically like to dress up, kind of accessorize a lot of our kit. So it's nice to have options that are the best bang for the buck, in which case I'm not opposed to spending the money. I just want to make sure that I'm getting a lot of value and a lot of feature out of spending that money. Now, the Olight I've had in my collection for the last several years, and overall, I really enjoy it. I got it with the intention of utilizing it between pistol and rifle configurations if I'm doing something kind of sporadic, kind of a one-off. Say, for an example, the TK-45. Not very often that you see a lot of players utilize that as a primary system, and for someone like myself that definitely prefers more of that mil-sim, mil-spec type of rifle setups, it's definitely a unique setup. So I like having a couple of floater of accessories that I can just mount on whatever I'm running at whatever point. And the Olight has been phenomenal for this. I've also used it exclusively as both pistol and rifle configuration lights. For pistols, it's got an awesome little bracket on the back here. You can set for different dimensions. So this one has a Glock bracket, so it fits awesome on Glock pistols, and also conveniently is sized and dimensioned just under the 1913 Picatinny option, which you can also see if you try some of the Streamlight TLR1s. And I've also experimented with the Streamlights because I have here the activation switch as well as the pressure pad backing for one of my Streamlight TLR1s. And then I have a second TLR1 just for pistol mounting. So I'm not exclusively like a Olight diehard. I have a lot of options between the Olights, the Streamlights. I have several of the Night Evolution PECs. Up here, I do have a Inforce that is a awesome top-mounted flashlight. Again, kind of a more dedicated floater light. And then on my Mark 18, I have many Night Evolution models, which are kind of clones of the Surefires, paired with another Night Evolution PEC. So these often are like this set, this combo is dedicated just to my Mark 18 setup, because that's what I like. That's kind of something that I've settled on over the years of playing. However, for like quick setup, something that I'm just going to run for like a weekend or a weekend day or just like a quick game, the Olight is awesome for that. It is very cost effective at $130 compared to the TLR1s, which are about $170, and a lot more current guys are looking for the TLR1 HL, which is about $180, $190. So For 70 bucks cheaper, you can get an Olight, and that's what I've personally gone to. So as I'm talking about the Olight, I don't want you to exclusively think that I am an Olight diehard. I do have several options. Oftentimes, those options are more dedicated, kind of more permanent solutions. The Olight does have a very awesome purpose, intention behind it. So when I first watched Unicorn Leah's video several years ago about the Valkyrie in particular and the Balder, huge fan. I just wanted to try it out and kind of see what the hype was for myself. So I have not partnered with Olight. None of these are from any distributors or anything like that. These are all my personal flashlights that I've bought and paid for myself. So these are my exclusive opinions. On the bottom of the Olight, there is this round kind of magnetic piece that you can slap the charging port. So any type of power bank that you take to the field, which you should have on you if you're going to play for the day, this is awesome to just quick top off and kind of quick recharge the battery as you're playing with it. This also happens to be where if you are running it as a rifle setup, you can get the pressure remote that you can tape or Velcro down somewhere on your rifle system. Now you'll see a lot of kind of indoor speed QB guys take the TLR ones and just mount them top side up like you've seen with my Inforce. They'll put the Streamlight up there. I've also seen people put their Olights up there as well, but it's a good versatile system that you can put anywhere and then still access it like you typically would with a pressure pad. One of the things that I've found advantageous with the Olight is, in particular, you'll notice that the center of the Olight is very, very bright, and so it doesn't have a lot of spill off when you're shining this at targets in the distance. So it's very easy to take a lot of those lumens and project it in a very tight conal space out farther away. So it's easier to kind of isolate a subject that you're trying to illuminate compared to some other flashlight brands, which have a lot more flood to them, which it can be a positive and a negative. So in the case of my Streamlight TLR1, it does have a lot more center brilliance, but the bleed is greater compared to the Olight. So while the centerpiece doesn't project nearly as far with as much brilliance, it does illuminate a lot more of the environment if I'm trying to, flood an area with it. So for a pistol standpoint, I might want a little bit more flood compared to brilliance. There you are. But that is all your prerogative, your preference. And just because I'm hyping up the Olight doesn't mean that I don't have a couple of things I don't like about it. So something that I've had a couple of times is while in a gun bag, I've had the side pressure switch get turned on and activated by accident, which is all right. I've had that happen to the Streamlights and other flashlights as well. However, because of that built-in battery, it's not something that I can quick replace in order to get, my flashlight working. I need to set it on a charger or charge it between games while it charges. So maybe if that occurs on the way to the field and then take it out, it's dead. Well, I just don't get to use it for the first couple of games, which is not super awesome. The other issue that I've had with the Olight, the Valkyrie in particular, is while it is very similar in shape and dimension to the Streamlight, it is not exactly like the Streamlight. So in my case specifically, I like to utilize the MC Kydex Alpha series of holsters. So his holsters, custom molded, manufactured down here in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. So I have his designed for the Streamlight flashlights because that's the mold that he has right away. If I wanted to do something that was the Olight specific, I would need to leave the flashlight with him in order to get that custom molded. So the Olight can get in there, but it doesn't retain and hold the Olight as tightly as it could. So take, for example, my Streamlight, and it clicks and is recessed right into place there. So it does a much better job holding and retaining that pistol, and it's very easy to get out compared to, again, the Olight. It's not designed to fit super well, so it is a little bit looser and an easier draw. But that also means if I accidentally hit it against something, it's easier for that pistol to come out with my Olight. So that has been something that has been of issue. If I am running something with the Olight, it's either in a fabric holster or in some other configuration, like the Navy SEALs will put it into like a magazine pouch on their kit, and they pull it out whenever they need it. within the tactical realm specifically, a lot of people just don't like them, and they constantly will bring up the one accident. So this has been my kind of pretty quick down and dirty with the Olight brand and the PL Pro Valkyrie that I've had for quite some time. Kind of an easy product to talk about. Have it, love it, and think that more people should run it. So if you guys have any questions about the Olight, leave them down in the comment section below. And by no means, don't take my word for it. There's a lot of other people that are reviewing the Olight series as well. In fact, one of the major sources that I've taken a lot of information from has been Works Holsters on YouTube. In fact, one of his big videos was a breakdown or a stress test, a torture test actually, if you will, of a whole bunch of pistol mounted flashlights between Olight, Surefire, Streamlight, and a couple of Chinese clones as well. So both high-end flashlights as well as cheap budget-oriented ones, and pretty interesting results. He was very thorough as far as how he's going to torture test them. So go check that out as well. This has been a very quick down and dirty with some of the things that I like and some things that you should consider when looking at an Olight flashlight. But I still think, even given a couple of negatives, I still think it's a very viable and still a very effective option for a very low cost. So if you guys do have any further questions, put them down into the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them to the knowledge that I have, and I will see you guys next one. Take care.